There's a time when the world is at its quietest, when shadows stretch long and sleep is just out of reach. It's the hour of restless souls, of whispered stories, of thoughts too much for the daylight. Welcome to Hour of the Wolf, where we dive into the stories that keep you awake. When hearts beat and the wolves prowl. The family, the community, the truths about being in a wolf pack. Stay with us if you dare. They call it the Hour of the Wolf.
And we are back, better than ever. We had a nice little couple-week break. Feels good to be back, although I crippled myself during this little bit of a break. I sprained my ankle on Thursday.
You are now handy capable.
Handy capable. Yeah, more so than I usually am.
But you avoided the our trip last week, so at least you weren't laid up for that. So
yeah, it's I guess it's my first time ever spraining my ankle, but it's definitely not a.
It was swollen. That thing was pretty big. You know.
Yeah, it was. Well, I went to Menards yesterday. Air conditioner went out, and it's 90-degree weather in Wisconsin, which is not good for humans like us. We're not built for this. We're built for like the 20s, 30s, 20s. We can gut that out all day, but when it gets over 85. Brother, I struggle. And then our air conditioner went out, and I was like, well, shit. So we went to Menards Lacrosse on the south side there. And I was like, well, I got this boot. I walked to the car fine. I didn't feel any sort of soreness, pain, nothing. And then as we, keep on going to the store, I get out, walk across the parking lot, get to the sliding doors. I was like, and now we are sore and stiff. I was like, I asked Casey, I'm like, I know it's hot and I'm sorry. Can you go get my crutches? So I had to fumble myself around on crutches, which I am terrible at, by the way. I have no skill with that at all. But yeah, thankfully today I got some rest on it. I got home and my toes were swollen, but we're good. Everything's good. I feel like recovery is going good, and I haven't done anything too strenuous on it yet. So
good. We had a club chapter meetup yesterday at the Madison Mallards baseball game. I think there was about a dozen of us down there. We saw history in the making, actually. It was the Madison Mallards' first no-hitter.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. So,
history, I guess not like history, but I guess the fun, exciting stuff in Wisconsin right now. On Wednesday, Paul Skeens is pitching against Jacob Mizorowski for the Brewers.
Who's Skeens? I know I've heard everything about Mizorowski, but who's Skeens? What's that?
Skeens is probably the best pitcher in the MLB right now, but he plays for the worst team in baseball.
Besides Mizorowski.
Well, Mizorowski.
Now, the kid pitched a 97-mile-an-hour curveball yesterday.
He also throws a 96-mile-per-hour changeup, and his fastball reaches up to 103. But you got to do it consistently.
Insane. Most players can't throw a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and he threw it on a changeup and a curveball.
Yeah, but you got to do it consistently.
He will. He's like 12. He's like 12 years old. Stop. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then we'll trade him away. So.
The nice thing is his value keeps on going up, and we probably get a nice shipment of prospects for him. But he's with us for 6 years, from what I read.
Okay.
So we should be good for a while. Other news, I guess. I seen that Zach Wild is coming back to Wisconsin. He will be in Turtle Lake on November 7th.
Is that Zach Sabbath, or is he coming?
Yeah. Zach Sabbath playing at the casino over there. So I'm pretty excited for that because I'm not on call and it is a Friday. So
Zach Sabbath puts on a good show.
The tickets are like $107 a pop.
Holy shit balls.
And then today is also the anniversary of Vinnie Paul's death, Pantera drummer.
Yeah. I have a picture. I went and visited their gravestone when I was in Dallas. I saw him and Dimebag's gravestone last time I was in Dallas. So
that's awesome. I obviously have nothing. I can't really do much. So I've been in a wormhole here at home. I did see I seen it. Well, the first thing I seen is American Chopper. I loved that show when I was a kid. So I literally binged American Chopper all night last night. And I got home from Menards, and then like all morning until about 3 o'clock. I literally got sick of watching American Chopper. It's a fantastic show.
I used to watch that too.
But yeah, other than that, it's just been a weird couple days. I'm not used to not doing much.
We had like I said, we had the baseball game yesterday. I had my nephew's graduation party today, so we got to sit out in the hot sun and enjoy that. But
yeah, chat. I hope we're doing well. Chat, post some flames up for our awesome guests tonight. We got Chris Hartle, we got JamieLynn, and we got the owner of the Broadhead Manor.
For those that don't know, Wisconsin is one of the sponsors of the Paranormal Rockdown coming up in the weekend, July 18th and 19th, down in Broadhead, Wisconsin, which is a 2-day music and paranormal conference Paracon. Friday night is a concert with a boatload of bands, Left on Red, Etched in Embers, headlined by the band Green Jelly, as you can see up there. And then there's a private ghost hunt after that at Broadhead Manor. Then Saturday is the paranormal conference held at Broadhead Manor, and there is, well, we'll let the guys talk about it when they come in, but Wisconsin is proud to be a part of that. Louie and I actually had the opportunity last Friday. Yeah, last Friday to go down and have a private tour with Jamie and Bill, two of our guests here tonight. Had a chance to go down and get a tour of Broadhead Manor. He even let us walk around on our own and try and freak ourselves out. Took a bunch of pictures, and just an amazing building. So
the building's one of a kind. You could tell that Bill put so much time and effort in that place, and you could tell he definitely loves the building. He loves hosting people. He's gracious enough to bust his ass year round for that place. And I mean, you see it and you see it and you just feel it. Like it's, Bill, what they're doing in that place is special. And you just got to respect the hard work he's putting into that place. So
definitely.
With that said, let's bring in the crew. We're just going right down the line.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, gentlemen.
Before we get too carried away, I just want everybody, if you do go to the Rockdown, Bill Wolter has the best nuts you'll ever get your mouth on.
Fantastic nuts.
All right. Mm-hmm. Best nuts in the country, and now I'm going international.
Yes, sir.
I had Bill's nuts in my mouth the first half of this entire week.
I believe those were his blue balls, right?
I had the blue balls, but I also walked away with bought a bag of the tiramisu as well.
Yeah. What do you think of those ones?
Those are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. They're delicious.
I got the cookies and cream one, and I can't remember the other one I had. But I know the second bag, because I knew Casey would like the cookies and cream one a lot. So I limited myself on my ride back, so I didn't touch. I had what I had of those. I opened up the other bag, and I freaking basically annihilated those on the way home.
They're addicting, and when you got a long ride, that's all that you do is you just, play with those nuts.
Yeah, I played with Bill's nuts all the way from Broadhead back to Westby, so yeah, it was a good time.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I played with them for a little while myself.
Yeah, Highway
and
460.
We have a new surprise flavor that's coming out for the Rockdown, and it's dill pickle flavored.
Ooh, you heard it first here.
I
That sounds.
I've already ate 2 pounds of the dill pickle ones, and I've got to quit.
Nice.
Oh,
So you're
geez.
saying there might not be any to sell by the time Rockdown happens.
Ron made sure that I packaged them before I started eating them.
That's funny.
Well, it's a good thing you're putting protection on your nuts.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they come in their own nut sacks. Trust me.
Yeah.
So let's start with the basics of Broadhead, Bill, if you would. Just give our listeners and some of the guys, people who are watching here, give them a basic rundown of what Broadhead Manor is, if you would, before we start talking about the event itself.
Broadhead Manor is the original old middle school and basic all grade school for Broadhead, Wisconsin. We have 2 halves of our building. One was built in 1906, one was built in 1936. When both ends were up and running, it was grades 1 through 12 up until the 50s. And then after the 50s, they switched over and actually pulled out the elementary school kids first and just had the older kids there. Then they built a second school in the town and pulled out then the middle school kids. So it was basically the high school for a little while. And then it went back and forth as they remodeled the new schools they just built. They pull the kids back to the old middle school and keep it there, where in 1996 they finally closed the school when they had their new high school built. And what cracks me up is this old building is still standing. Yes, the previous owners from us have gutted the entire building, left it a shambles. It was a nightmare to go through and try and clean. But now that we've got it cleaned out, we're slowly bringing the walls back, with plaster and all that stuff, and trying to get it into I want it to look like an old abandoned building still, with a presence of how the architecture is. How I want it to look original still. We're never going to get it back to its original brand new condition. I don't want that. We run a haunted attraction in there. That's what I bought it for. And that haunted attraction, you want it to look creepy, old, dungy, and dingy. It's one of a kind. But this old building is just beautiful, and it really cracks me up that they've remodeled these new schools that they built in Broadhead 4 times over so far before this building ever got remodeled. The new schools just don't hold up like the old one does. I mean, this thing's built solid as a rock. So when I acquired it, we opened up the haunted house. Things started happening during the haunted house that we couldn't explain. So we invited up a bunch of paranormal teams and had them come through, and they all got the same thing. We've got more ghosts than we know what to do with. So now that's how we got into the paranormal world. And when COVID hit, we had to shut our haunted house down. And to this day, we still haven't opened the haunted house portion of it back up. We have tours and stuff like that where you can see the stuff, but we haven't actually opened the haunted house. We're trying to do it for this October. Our problem right now is getting the actors to come in and volunteer to come in and act again. People just don't want to do it anymore. They'd rather come to the attraction than actually work it. So if anybody wants to volunteer, watch Broadhead Manor's Facebook page. We will be putting out an ad saying we want actors. We'll give you the dates when we're signing people up. And then we'll have a group meeting, after we get everybody signed in. We'll have a group meeting with the group, show them the haunted house, and then give you one day to train and learn your spot and throw you into the masses and have some fun. So if you love to scare people, come on out.
You can shove me in a corner and call me a crazy old lady. I'd be okay with that.
I did that the second year. We had a lady, she was 72 years old, and she really wanted to work the haunted house. What her boyfriend didn't tell us is she had slight dementia. Well, it was a little more than slight dementia, because we got called into the middle of the haunted house because we put her in a wheelchair with a baby, and it had an umbilical cord on it like she just had a baby. And we get called into the haunted house, and they said, there's a lady back there breastfeeding a baby. And the full thing was out. And all these people are going through the haunted house, and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on here? I can't figure this out.
Wow.
Sounds like the beginning of a
So,
King
Jamie,
Diamond
I'm just
song.
not going to throw you in a corner and let you do things.
Dementia yet.
It's like literally the making of a King Diamond song.
Oh, it was funny. I will never forget that as long as I live. I was just like, oh my God, I don't believe this is happening.
That's crazy.
But like I said before, we got into the paranormal stuff. Then we had a big enough venue that we started opening up to different paracons and stuff. And Chris approached me with the idea of the Paranormal Rockdown, and I said, let's go for it. We were originally going to have the bands play at the building, but we don't have a big enough sound. We got a stage, we got a full gymnasium to hold people in, but we didn't have a big enough sound system for the bands themselves. So Mason Meyer with Main Street Music down in Brooklyn, which is only 10, 15 minutes away, he decided that he would donate his building to us and say, have the concerts down here. We got the sound system. We just got to pay the sound guy. So, and Andy's been great for us. You can call him Mason. You can call him Andy. I call him Andy Meyer. He's filmed several music videos at our building, and they've turned out amazing. So we try to accommodate all different kinds of genres of everything, photography to videos to, we've actually had a 2-hour movie that was filmed at the building. Just a little found featured film that a bunch of students came in and they were doing paranormal stuff, and a spirit took over everything. It was a neat movie.
It's a beautiful building. I mean, you get up. There was that classroom on the 3rd floor that had those beautiful solid wood ceiling beams, and you had the old school the original boilers down in the basement that are just. There's some the history there itself is just.
And we try to keep them pristine. I go in there and polish those things to make them look like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you feel that the second you pull up to the building, you see its, genuine form and how enormous it is. And then when you walk in, you're entering right into that gymnasium. You're seeing the original bleachers, that stage that's there. And, it's just remarkable. It's a remarkable building.
Yeah, I gotta ask, guys. I mean, we've talked about Broadhead before and stuff, but when you guys went there last weekend, what were your thoughts when you pulled up to that building and saw that size?
I didn't know it was that big. I didn't know it was that big.
I definitely didn't think it was be that big.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which road I came in on, but then I turned the corner and saw the full scale of the building. I think I came in from the side, turned the corner and saw the full scale of the building. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I came down 10th there, and I'm just like, house. Like, holy shit, there it is. You just go down the whole lane.
It hits you.
But yeah, it's the building's 60,000 square feet, and if people don't really understand how big that is, for people in the paranormal world, if you go to Ashmore Estates or you go to Edinburgh Manor, anything like that, you can fit 4 Ashmore Estates in my building. You can fit 2 Edinburgh Manors in my building, plus some. I mean, they're Jericho, when you were up there, the actual school at Jericho, you can fit 1.5 Jerichos in my building.
Mm-hmm. It's large.
So,
and when these paranormal investigators do come, they pretty much have access to a good 80% of the building. The only places you really can't go is, Bill and Ron's, living quarters. And that's, because of their personal space, and you have to respect that.
Yeah.
Right.
But other than that.
Another thing with it is when I'm there and you're investigating, I am always on site when investigators are in the building. That way, if there's an emergency or you have questions or you want to know something about the history, or let's say one of your devices gives you a name that you can't figure out or something like that, come see me. Yeah, I'm right there. I'll answer any questions at any time. I'll stay up all night if I have to. I don't care. I want people to experience this building for what it is. I mean, I just can't. I'm not the type of person to buy it, lock it down just for me, and not share the gem. You know, when you hear kids running up and down the hall in the middle of the night, and you hear them running during the day, you'll hear them singing in the choir room. You'll hear giggling and laughing. You'll hear yelling. It's just, it doesn't happen every day, but you know they're there when they do it. You know, you can actually feel them, their presence around you at all times. So that's why I'm letting the paranormal world come in and just have fun.
And you said to us as we were sitting there after the tour, you said when you bought the building, you were a skeptic.
I'm a total skeptic. I try to call out and debunk everything I possibly can with this building. If I cannot debunk it, then I know I'm not crazy.
Oh, you're still crazy, Bill. Don't try to fool the rest of them.
I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you're there and you experience one little thing and you walk away and tell somebody about that one little thing that you experienced, it makes my day. You know, that is one thing that you're going to carry with you.
And we talked to you. I talked to you shortly after that. I sent you a message and said that, I mean, we walked into that art room and your dog just stopped dead in her tracks, sitting right in that door.
Literally threw the parking brake on. Did not want to cross that.
We could not get her to come into that art room. And that
If
art
there's something in there, if there's something in a room, she will not come in. And then you guys witnessed down in the cafeteria area where the horror museum is, you witnessed that she will not cross that room. She'll go all the way down through the boiler, go down through the tunnel, come back up around, and then meet us on the other side by the stairs.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That art room though, man, that just had like a completely different vibe to it. That just like my mood changed walking into that room. And I noticed that the second time we went in there, I'm fairly happy-go-lucky. And I walked in there, I just felt defensive. You know what I mean? Like I just felt a little bit on edge, a little bit defensive. And the second time, because the first time, obviously, I thought we felt that. Me and Bill and your son and Darren all felt that cold spot.
Yeah.
But it would have been on the south corner of that room there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it started moving, and then your son's like, "Oh, it's over here now." And I was like, "Okay." I know we felt something there, and maybe the second time we were in there, I knew we felt that. So just maybe it was like my mind kind of playing the trick on me, but like there's definitely something that just, I don't want to say oppresses the feeling in the room, but like definitely just like changes the entire vibe of like going in there.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. And it's not all the time, but when it's there, and you feel it.
But it's so weird too, because like there's that open window, and it's like an opening, where you can see out the side there. But like you would think like you would feel that kind of radiate out, but like it's not. As soon as you cross that door, it's just a completely different vibe.
Yep.
And you go into like the auditorium. If you go into our auditorium that has the step floor that goes up,
yes,
you walk into that room, you can feel the heaviness of the air. It overwhelms you when you walk in, but you walk out again, you're back to normal.
Yeah.
So let's touch on the event. Obviously, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just take over.
Well, Chris, why don't you start off by talking about what's going on Friday night with the bands and stuff and that evening?
Yeah. So first I want to start off by saying it's awesome that you guys are 10 episodes into this. And as soon as that song hits in your opening, everybody in the chat is still talking about it.
Yes. So if chat, you're listening, make sure to thank Chris for the song. Chris is the brains. Chris is the brains behind the intro song.
Yes, Chris is responsible for our song.
That's awesome to see. But about the event on Friday, we are going to start everything off at 4 p.m. at the Main Street Events. As Bill said, it's about 10 or 15 minutes up the street from Broadhead. We're going to start things off with 7 bands playing there. Green Jelly is obviously our headliner. Everybody's excited about them. Then we got Left on Red, The Fiction We Create, Switchblade Saturdays, Etched in Embers, January, among some others. Again, We Rise. And for those of you that don't want to go see the bands, whether you want to see country music and we're not having country there, you can go right up to Broadhead. We're going to have 2 mini investigations up there with some special guest investigators joining us. There's going to be 2 of them. One is from 5 to 7, right?
4 to 7, and
4 to
then
7.
8 to
And then
11.
8 to 11. They're $25 a piece for those mini investigations. You're going to investigate different parts of the building that are hot spots. Yeah. And then Saturday you can come back and join everything else that Jamie will tell us about.
Can people show up for those Friday night hunts? Can they just show up? Do they need to bring equipment or anything like that? Or will the investigators themselves be taking care of most of that and they're kind of just tagging along? What will they be doing?
Yeah, so you can bring some equipment, nothing with noise or anything. If you want to bring like a K2 meter or something that doesn't make noise, a cat ball or anything like that. But otherwise, most of the other equipment's going to be provided. You can pay at the door for those investigations, but I highly don't recommend that because the spots are limited to a certain amount of people. So if you don't have a ticket and you show up and they're already sold out, you came to the building for nothing because we're not going to allow you to come in.
Mhm. And during each of these investigations that we're going to be offering, there are going to be some psychic mediums on hand that are leading the investigations. So you're not even going to need the equipment unless you want to use it, but you're also going to be seeing that other side of the paranormal. So that's interesting. We're lucky enough to have some pretty great people doing that, like Sam Beltrusis. He was on The House in Between and a bunch of not just documentaries, but shows that have been on Discovery Plus. And he's an author of over a dozen books, and he's coming all the way from Massachusetts. And this is his second time there. So we're very honored to have him. We also have crew coming in from Stream Beacon TV. Those that don't know, it's a streaming service that's available that does true crime and paranormal. And some of the headliners from Stream Beacon TV are joining us. So you'll be able to investigate with them, along with a whole bunch of other people. So it's very exciting. And that's just on Friday night.
It's just Friday.
That's not taking into consideration Saturday.
So then we get to Saturday.
Yeah, then we get to Saturday, and I get to talk about all that fun stuff on Saturday. All right, so Saturday morning, we're going to be starting off the Paranormal Rockdown at 11 a.m. And that Paracon is going to be running until 5 p.m., and that's at Bill's location, Broadhead, Wisconsin, Broadhead Manor. We have well over 40 vendors, and these vendors are offering, readings, investigation equipment. We've got authors with their books, massages and Reiki. We've got t-shirts. We've got intuitive paintings that will be available specifically designed for you. Crystals, paranormal and ghostly items. We've got teams. We actually have Haunted Happy Hour coming back once again with their coffee, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then, of course, like we've already discussed, you can get Bill's Nuts. And for the first time ever, you'll be able to get Mike Galliano's Fruity Bits. So that's never been a thing before, but Bill did that in honor of Mike Galliano. So that's exciting. Please. Going back to Friday night with the question in regards to purchasing tickets on site, if we do have tickets that are available, please keep in mind that all concessions and all ticket purchases will be cash only. Vendors are responsible for themselves, so vendors will probably take credit card, but for the majority of anything at the actual event, it will be cash only. So bring cash if you plan on filling up your stomach on some good Fat Boys pizza or some, we'll have cheddarwurst and nachos and hot dogs and popcorn and things like that available, along with water and soda. So,
hold on. I'm going to interrupt you 1 second here, Jamie. So
Yeah.
everybody sees if you do the hashtag Rockdown, you can win tickets to the Paranormal Rockdown. For those of you who are farther away and can't make it to the Rockdown, still do the hashtag Rockdown. If you win, I will buy some of Bill's nuts and I will send you a gift basket of Bill's nuts.
Ooh, there you go.
ooh,
That,
ooh. And you don't want to miss out on that.
Yeah,
No.
those nuts are as advertised.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we got 7 entries. Chat. We could do way better than that.
Well, if you really want to go to Bill's Nuts, they are salty, tasty, sweet, sometimes spicy, a little bit chewy. And if you get a big surprise, sometimes they explode in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. I've seen videos of gentlemen eating Bill's nuts. Yes, I have. In fact, I've sent a few videos.
Bill's nuts.
Jeremy Smith wants Bill's nuts.
Well, you know where you have to be, Jeremy. You know where you have to be.
You gotta come on down.
I believe Jeremy's in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Come on
man.
up.
We got old Scotty Rourke has entered the chat.
Scotty.
You'll be able to
Scotty.
see him at the Rockdown.
Yes.
Oh,
Look at
Jamie,
him.
you can continue now. I'm sorry I interrupted you there.
No, don't be sorry. You guys are welcome to interrupt at any time. We do have a great speaker lineup from Michael Johnson, Agnes. We have Kenneth Drake. We have David Childers and Alora. We've got a Zoom meeting, or not a Zoom meeting, a Zoom presentation and Q&A with the one and only Dustin Perry. We're going to have a mediumship panel that's being led by Heidi Kemper and Sam Baltrusis. We have Dave Schrader, who's been on Discovery Plus with numerous different things. He also is one of the 3 that's well known for the Holzer Files, which is coming back under a new name, Paranormal Mysteries, on Stream Beacon TV with Shane Pittman and Cindy Kaza. So we're excited that they're going to be with us. Not the last 2, but Dave Schrader, Jack Chavez, and Larry Eisler III, amongst a few others. We have a bunch of other things that are going to be happening during the day as well. And a lot of these are via ticket purchase or donation while you're at the building. We have Marilyn Bass doing a gallery reading. We have Kat Armstrong doing a mirror scrying course, but it's not her normal mirror scrying course. It's one step above that. It's really getting into the true history and everything else. We're hoping that Michael Galliano will be able to make it. We're going to do a shout out to him. Everybody, please wish him good energy and healing for the accident that he was in recently. But if he is going to be able to attend, he's going to be doing, for the first time ever, a comedy show. And anybody that knows Mike knows that he's absolutely hilarious.
A lot of you remember we had Michael as a guest back about 4 or 5 episodes. We had Michael on as a guest, and he's just an absolute hoot.
Yeah, he's an absolute riot.
And Scotty Rourke Paranormal Match Game.
We're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have.
That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah. We have Sarah. Well, I said Dustin Perry's Zoom. We have Sarah Lamos. She's going to be doing a gallery reading, and then Scotty Rourke's going to be doing his match game. Now, keep in mind that is not going to be during the actual Paracon itself. This is a one-time purchase. It's actually after the Paracon, and it's going to be held in one the music room at the Manor. But it's going to be held between that downtime between the Paracon and the actual investigations. So the only people that are really going to be able to get that is those that are there and do the donation right away before they decide to head out, or the all-in ticket purchasers. So it's not available during. So it gives you a reason to stick around the building for a little while. And he's got a great panel. He doesn't even know who is on the panel yet, but we've got a great lineup. It's going to be 101 laughs, let me tell you. Then during the actual investigation, we're offering 2 different things that are going to be happening. We have Sam Baltrusis doing his Samons, which is a very high energy, very uplifting kind of seance. It's been done at Broadhead before with extremely good responses. People absolutely loved it, so we're going to bring it back again. And for those that aren't interested in that, we're going to have Greg Kotz and Mr. Bobby Resnick-Calkins doing an ITC project, which is the Estes method up in the band room or the auditorium. And then during the actual Paracon as well, we're at a couple different durations during the day. Bill and or two of his close members are going to be doing tours of Broadhead. Those are going to be available for purchase up at the concession stand. So I believe we're going to be running those at 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m.
Yes.
So, and those are $10 a tour, and the tour lasts about an hour. And you're going to see, I'd say, what, a good 3/4 of the building?
Well, let's
Well,
just
half.
start off by saying that during the Paracon, you will only actually be able to go through maybe a quarter of the building.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the building is off limits to everybody. We just run the Paracon in certain rooms, stuff like that. That way we have general public as being safe, from just wandering. We don't want that. During the tour, you will see 90% of the building in the tour. Again, it's my private space that you're not going to be able to go through, but the tour will take you through a part of my space. So
Is there a
you'll see
limit on the
how
number?
What?
A limit on the number of those you're going to sell per tour?
Tours, we have an unlimited amount.
Yeah.
So if I have a group of 30 people that are going at one time, there's a group of 30 people going at one time. I those groups, I'll disappear and I will go do those tours myself because I can handle large groups of people very well. So, and keep them in a bunch. Otherwise, I decide if somebody disappears, they disappear and they become a haunted house attraction part.
Well, and going back to, Bill saying that you're going to be, restricted to certain areas, 100% absolutely. And that's for, not just our well-being, but for the people's safety. If there is a fire, we need to be accountable for where you are to make sure that we can get you out of that building. Hence, we are going to be having fellas like these guys up there running security. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate everything you guys are doing for the Rockdown. It can't be done without guys like you, in this field. So thank you for offering those services. But they're going to be running around doing checks throughout the entire building to make sure that we don't have any stragglers. So don't think that you can sneak one through.
Yep. And I gotta say too, when you go to Broadhead, Bill treats you like family. So treat him like family. Don't try sneaking off because then he's gonna turn into an ass and you have to kick your ass out.
Absolutely.
I have no problem walking people out of the building. If you disrespect anything about the building or anybody that is in that building, if you cause drama, if you come in there specifically to argue with one person, I will escort you out. And if you put up a fight, I will have you arrested for trespassing on my property because I have no right to do that.
And please don't think that, we're sitting here whipping our chains at you because let me tell you, the Paracons and stuff that have been held at Broadhead and the time that you have when you're at the manor itself, I mean, you literally feel like you're going to a family reunion or you're hanging out, at your aunt's house for the night or something. I mean, it's just that welcoming. I mean, you guys were just there. I mean, did you feel like you were walking into a stranger's house? I mean, maybe at first for the first couple of seconds, but then it's like, hey.
Yeah, we were immediately welcomed in. It was, and I've said this numerous times since we had our telethon with you guys back in, I don't remember when it was now, at least 6-7 months ago. Becoming acquainted with some of the people in this community, you're 100%, you hit the nail on the head there with it's a big family. They're so welcoming. Everybody is so respectful of the other investigators that we've met and talked to. And it is one really big family. And you feel part. I don't do that for a living, and I feel part of the family. Bill's made us, and you guys have made us, and Michael and some of the other people we've talked to continuously, they've made us feel like we're actually part of the community itself. So it's very welcoming.
Are you reading what Scotty's writing over here on the side? I got to answer these questions.
I can't see the comments. I'm sorry.
Yes, Scotty, I will pat you and Patrick down. And yes, I'll whip you in later on at night. And yes, Scotty, it is your second home.
Wait, Scotty. Is he going to be doing this pat down before or after I braid your hair? Because he's going to need something to pull on.
There you go. I need something to hang on to.
That's right.
But yeah, Broadhead Manor has always been a place that we have stuck to, and we're 100% committed to a drama-free zone. We want to make sure everybody feels welcome. I want you to feel like your family. I want you to come back. I don't want, we do some of our things we do at the building, like actually next weekend, next Saturday night, we're having a collaboration night. We want several teams to come in, collaborate together, go out and investigate the building, teach each other your own techniques, and walk away friends. We want to make people realize that there's no reason that you're right, you're wrong, anything like that. It's everybody has their own opinions. Let's have fun with it. That's all I want. And if you don't like doing that, please don't come to Broadhead, because I'm not dealing with your bull.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's the domino effect, because I remember the first Paracon that I was at Broadhead. I met so many incredible people, and then I, had my little network, and then it spidered out. I introduced my network to somebody, in Iowa or somebody in Texas. And I just recently went to Louisiana, and I'm probably going to be going to North Carolina next year. And, it spreads and it spreads. And we have people coming from all over the United States to be here. Like I said, Massachusetts and Texas and Nevada. All Oregon, all over the U.S. just to be at Broadhead Manor. Why? Because of the family that's been created and to preserve this building. It's not that Chris is making money off of this. Everything is pretty much going into this event for the word of mouth to travel. So more business comes to Broadhead Manor. So Bill can, preserve this building. And then it goes further than that. It goes out into the paranormal field. So again, the word of mouth travels. When somebody has a good time and they're at a paranormal event, they're going to go home and they're going to tell, their sister-in-law who has always been, oh no, it's all about demons. Like, really? You guys had that much fun and there was no, demons attacking you in the boiler room? I want to check this out. It brings them to other locations. Therefore, other locations can thrive. So, it's that domino effect. And that's what we want. You guys weren't that big into the paranormal, like you said. Now you're a little bit more intrigued. You want to know a little bit more about it.
The only demon I have is Scotty Rourke that chases me all over.
Yeah, and to add to that, Jamie, me and you've met through networking with people and stuff. We haven't known each other that long. We've met through networking, and look at this. Look what we put together here for everybody to come and enjoy, not just us.
Exactly. Everybody. Everybody. And you don't even have to be a paranormal enthusiast to come and enjoy, a historic building, to come into the building just to do the tour, so everybody's welcome.
Just last night, I would say the group that came in last night, perfect example. They were more about the history of the building. They researched everything on the building. They came through and they saw it. They took pictures all over. They had so much fun. They only investigated for 2 hours out of the 8 hours they booked. Because they were having so much fun. Yes, I love you too, Scotty. That's the way people are. You don't have to just be a paranormal investigator. If you love history and you love old buildings, come through and just witness it. It's something that when we bought it, it was 2 weeks from being torn down. We have the actual paperwork of the demolition papers. that it was being torn down, and we saved it.
Mhm.
So,
And
If you're listening and you're a fan of the horror and the macabre as well, you get a chance to go through and see Bill's partner Ron is a special effects wizard, and some of the creations he's made, horror characters, full size. David Bowie from The Labyrinth and Pinhead from Hellraiser and the horses from Game of Thrones. It's just some of the things he's created and put inside of some of the parts of this building are just amazing. They look so. I took many pictures of those because I'm a big fan of a lot of those type of stuff.
I need to get Ron up to the building and get off the computer because I got him a life-size Tiffany doll. You know, from Chucky.
Yep.
You know, Bride of Chucky, the Tiffany. Well, I got him a life-size one. I came home and there is now 2 in the box life-size Good Guys Got dolls. There's a full-size Chucky. There is Glenn and Glenda. We got full-size dolls of those. All of the accessory kits to go with them, and they're all ready to go on display up at Broadhead.
Mhm.
And I also noticed he bought all the Gremlins. So we
Did he?
have the,
Nice.
It's too funny.
so he's also got 18 full-size statues that he's got to get up there to try to finish before the Rockdown so we can fully open the horror museum. So that way you guys can have fun and go through that too by the time the Rockdown hits.
Well, and not only that, I mean, but there's, real coffins that you can see.
Yes.
We do have real authentic coffins in the building that came from the
Church
funeral home
pews.
down the street. Those coffins were rentable coffins back in the 30s. They used to rent them to people that couldn't afford a funeral and let you view the body and everything like that. Then they take you out to the grave, dump you in the ice into the grave, bury you, carry the coffin to the next house, and rent it out to the next family that needs it.
And when you showed us that one that was lined with the metal for that, and then you said there's another one in the corner, and I turned around and there's a 3-foot-long coffin sitting over there, and your heart just kind of skips a beat, and you're thinking, "Wow, that's
a baby coffin."
That's a baby coffin, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Chris is also bringing in during the Rockdown one that he won for I can't
Vince
remember.
Keeline.
Yeah, Vince Keeline had a raffle for one. Chris won it, and Chris is bringing it down to the Rockdown to display. So we'll have a second coffin down there, and that's another child's coffin. We also have from the local funeral parlor that is across the street from Greenwood Cemetery. We have their morgue table and we have their embalming machine.
Yeah,
Everybody in the cemetery has been on that morgue table. So there's so many attachments on that morgue table, it's not funny.
Mhm.
So yeah, we just collect everything we possibly can, whether it be historical or just horror stuff that we love to play with. We got a room full of dolls. I know everybody just loves dolls. There's just a lot of stuff in the building that we just keep collecting more and more and more of. So eventually I will fill this entire building with horror memorabilia. So
Gonna be crazy.
one dream at one time is going to be I'd love to open up part of an Airbnb where you can rent a room, you can investigate the building, but also be immersed in a horror situation. So you'll book a room and it might be filled with dolls. You book a room, it might be filled with mannequins. You book another room, things might pop out of the walls. Who knows? Then you got Bill's nuts running all over the place.
Mhm. Going crazy. And again, we didn't touch on this a lot, but you are able to investigate Broadhead Manor also on Saturday evening from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. And you're going to be investigating. Oh, there's that embalming table that
I totally forgot I had a picture of that uploaded. I forgot to put it up.
that Bill was just talking about. But you'd be able to see that during the investigation and the tour. But a lot of our headliners / special guests will be leading the investigation on Saturday evening. Please, again, it's first come, first serve. There's a few tickets that are left, and they are available at paranormalrockdown.com along with all of the other tickets. So get it beforehand, because once they're gone, they're gone. We're not allowing, 15 people to investigate, one room. Our spots are limited. We want it to be as personal as we can get it, but still be public, so you can still investigate it at a very reasonable price.
Yeah,
I don't know anywhere that you can go and watch 7 bands for $20.
It's going to go pretty quick too. Since we've been on this, we've sold 2 all-in tickets, so it's going to go. I mean, probably I want to say maybe 7, 8 investigations left for Saturday night. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good problem to have.
Yes, it is. But it just goes to show that urgency, and come Friday night, we still have openings Friday night. And if by chance we do sell out, it gives you a perfect opportunity to come and see the building and maybe book with Bill sometime this summer, but he is booking up. Otherwise, next summer when he opens his books.
All of our Saturdays for the rest of our season are gone.
Mm-hmm.
We only have Friday nights that are available. So if you can come down on a Friday night, we do 8-hour investigations for $50 a person, or we do overnight investigations, which run from 6 p.m. till 10 a.m. the next day, where you get a private room in the manor itself to stay in and run your investigation all night long during that. And that's $75 a person.
And
So,
Bill, am I wrong in saying that you also offer afternoon investigations?
if you message us at Broadhead Manor and you have a specific date and time, if you give me a week's notice, I can do a daytime investigation. I will show up that day and open the building up for you to do your investigation. And usually those run $35 a person for the daytime investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 11 to 5.
Because spirits are active during the day just as they are at night. They don't have a time clock, that they punch and say, well, you're sleeping, we're going to be awake now. No, they're 24/7.
Right. And to highlight on the ghost hunt for Saturday night, we run it differently than most places. What we do is we have an investigative team in 5 hotspots. There's an investigative team of 2. They are going to be in that spot all night long. It's the group. We divide the total number of people by 5, and we usher 5 people to this group, then that group, then that group, then that group. And then every 45 minutes, you do a switch. You get to go to the next investigator. Then the group goes to the next. So you will be able to investigate with every one of our celebrities during this event. It's not just you're stuck with a certain group.
Well, then you get to learn how everybody else, does things, not just a specific person, and you get to experience the different areas, and we've just found that that's what works the best.
Some of when we're talking about the daytime investigations, some of our best videos we have from the building were during the day, where you see the shadows of the kids running across the hallways. You see one of our little spirits, Elizabeth, she reaches down, touches a REM pod, and appears right next to the REM pod. And that was in broad daylight. And then disappears. There's some amazing evidence that's come out of the building that I just can't debunk. I've tried and tried and tried. Especially those ones up in the hallway upstairs. You're on the 3rd floor. You're 40 feet above the streets. There's no planes that can fly by because there's power lines and everything. Even if a bird flies by the window, it's not going to create a full-size shadow of a person walking across where you can see their arms and legs moving across. You just can't debunk it. When you and 2 other people are in the building, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, last time I was there with all the different groups, we were third floor in the classroom and using the spirit box, saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and they finished the Pledge of Allegiance for you over the spirit box.
Yep. That was amazing. You almost get teary-eyed listening to that.
Yep.
You know, it's when it came across and they finished it, that was amazing.
Well, and let's go back to who these guests are going to be able to possibly investigate with. Do you by chance have that flyer handy of July 19th that you can pop up there?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm not going to be able to name everybody on this list, and this list is even bigger than what, we have shown. This was created, like 2-3 months ago, and the updates just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. So we apologize. But we've been trying to keep everybody updated on Facebook at the Paranormal Rockdown page and the Paranormal Rockdown 2025 page. But we have, we're very, very honored to have the Stream Beacon TV crew with us, a whole bunch of them from there, like Josh Purvis, who was a co-owner. We have Vince Keyline from Urban Investigations. We have Mike Galliano and Marilyn Bass from Sidekicks and Pair with the Normal. We also have another streaming service, which is Dark Realm TV with Joe Kudo, Jay Lynch, and Jason Snyder. They're going to be there. And they've got a ton of, again, paranormal, true crime, cryptid, UFO, all of that kind of stuff too. We have, Dave Schrader, who's been seen, like I said, on Discovery Plus, Dustin Perry via Zoom, Sam Beltrusis, Sarah Lamos. She's a psychic medium, doing her gallery reading. She's been on Discovery Plus with one of her shows, The Ghost of Morgan City. We actually have Nick Simons coming. He's been on Netflix, 28 Days Haunted. We've got the Hollywood psychic, Kenneth Drake coming. And anybody who's had the opportunity, to talk with him, he's so inspirational and he's so full of energy. He's just a great guy. Then we've got like David Childers, and we have Mr. Scotty Rourke. We have EVP coming up from Texas. They've got their podcasts and have been being followed left and right. We have owners of other locations like Robin Terry and Ashley from Ashmore Estates, who were tickled pink to have. Robin came out to Broadhead at a Paracon last year, and since then, Bill and Ron have become very, very good friends. So it's just a great, great lineup. And again, there's more to it than that, and we just keep on adding, more and more people. I mean, the more the merrier. So come on out and see that. See them.
So let's remind everybody where we can find where everybody can get tickets for the event.
Go ahead, Chris.
So if you definitely want to get tickets, just go to paranormalrockdown.com. Click any of the little banner posters there that you were just showing, like the one with all the guests. You click that banner, it'll take you right to the ticket link. All the tickets are available to purchase there. The only ones that you can purchase are for Mike Gagliano's comedy show. If he is able to attend, that's going to be based off of a donation when you come there, or Kat Armstrong's mirror scribing event that she's going to host. That is donation based when you get there as well.
And then the Scotty Rourke thing too.
Yep, as well as Scotty's game show.
Everything else is, you have to get it online. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to attend. And again, we're limiting those tickets too, because we're not going to shove, 100 people into one room, where, the next person next to you is eating a bag of popcorn so you can't hear, the speaker that's in front of you.
Yep.
We're limiting the amount of people that are going to be able to attend these things because we want it to be personable. So you get the full experience.
One thing that we are asking is all food and beverages must stay in the gymnasium area or outside. When you go to the music room to listen to the speakers and when you go to the auditorium to listen to the speakers, we would prefer not to have food in those areas or I mean, if you have a pop, that's fine. Just make sure you get everything into a garbage can. Last winter, somehow we were invaded by mice, and we are trying to still get rid of all of our mice. And with food being left on the floor and stuff like that, it doesn't make it an easy task. So just be courteous.
Absolutely. And then you can go to the Facebook on Paranormal Rockdown. Just search Paranormal Rockdown, and that'll pop up, or Paranormal Rockdown 2025. That's the event page. That'll pop up as well. If you have any, additional questions, you can, do the message link on Paranormal Rockdown's page, or you can message Chris or myself in regards to the Rockdown itself. But if you have specific questions about Broadhead Manor, you're going to have to contact Bill, and Bill will get a hold of you as soon as he can. He's a very, 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 very busy guy. So he does his best, but normally he gets back to people within a day or two. So
the only way to really reach us is by my email address, which is on the Broadhead Manor Facebook page. That is the only thing we have, is the Broadhead Manor Facebook page. And you can message me from that page. So either way you want to get a hold of me, I do respond within a day or two. Sometimes it's immediate, but it all depends if I can get away at that moment. Good night, Scotty.
Good night. Love you.
Night, Scotty.
Ambiance, but I just don't like them. And also, for everybody out there that's listening, watching, whatever, go to the Bearded Brothers site. If you can make a donation, please do. They need your help. They need your support. They need anything you can give them. They're a great group of guys. I love that I've met them, and we will always support them as much as they support us.
Yep.
Well, let's give them a quick minute to talk about, what they've got going on with their 500 miles.
It's anytime. This is about you today. But we have probably about 8 days left to register for our Christmas in July ride that we will be having here in Wisconsin. Well, actually, it's worldwide. So basically, what it is, it's a self-paced 500-mile ride over the course of July. It's 2 wheels, 4 wheels, 18 wheels, anything you can ride on. Louis taking his side-by-side, aren't you, Louis? You're using that? 500 miles during the month of July. It's a $25 registration. All the money goes towards our Forward 365 program, which supports families during the Christmas season in the state of Wisconsin. Buys gifts, food, meals, and we're expanding to decorations this year. We hope to expand to decorations this year. So it's a self-paced 500-mile ride during the month of July. You take a picture, you get an email, you take a picture of your odometer on July 1st, you take a picture of your odometer on July 31st, and 500 miles, you're registered. All participants are registered to win. We've got half a dozen donated prizes from different organizations, like who we got, Louis? We got Ben Shot, we got
Ben Shot, we got Burn Pit Barbecue, we got Moon Dust is officially hopped in the mix.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, we've got a lot of people who have donated some gifts, so prizes for everybody who participates, everybody who completes the 500 miles. So you can find out about that at our Wisconsin Bearded Brothers Facebook page. Or reach out to us right here on the Over the Wolf podcast, too. We can get you in touch with anything you need for that. So.
Well, you could even make a donation on that page if you don't want to, contribute to doing the actual ride itself. But as paranormal investigators, our summer months are traveling times. Yep. So it's very, very easy to do 500 miles in the month of July.
Yep.
So.
And then too with this charity, I mean, like we did last year with doing the podcast, we were 6-7 hour podcast we did to help raise you guys some money. Come November, December, we're going to do that again, and we're going to make it bigger and better this year.
Well, and at the Rockdown itself, like I said, they said sponsoring, but they are going to have their own little area where they are going to have, a little box set up so you can donate at the Rockdown as well. And, 50 cents goes a long way. If, we have 100 people donating 50 cents, $50. You know,
Absolutely.
it adds up. So
Every little
we'll
bit
take
counts.
it.
If you're at the event and you see our table set up in a corner with the box on it, we're gonna have some cards and some flyers and stuff there as well. So come up and talk to us, ask us questions. We can answer anything you want about the charity itself and
Mhm.
how to maintain a beautiful beard.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
I'm
just
trying.
one last reminder, everybody, hashtag Rockdown to win tickets to the event on July 18th and 19th in Broadhead, Wisconsin. Or if you're not in the state and cannot visit, you're going to win a shipment of Bill's Nuts. So this is your last opportunity to get those in.
Well,
I
and
like when my nuts roll across the states.
mhm. From one place to the next, they
Yeah,
sure
we
get around.
As of right now, we've got 8 people who have hashtag Rockdown.
The good people.
Yep.
I do want to thank our sponsors before we head out for the evening, though, if that's all right with y'all.
Yeah.
Because without this and without you guys, none of this would be possible. So we want to thank Unturned Pages, Katie McVeigh with Tamer Lane Medium, Boo Bitches Paranormal, Paranormal Party Wisconsin, Lotus Witch Paranormal, Phantasma Paranormal, Hot Headed Radio, Small Town Productions, Eternal Paranormal, Survivor Angels, Para with the Normal, and again, Stream Beacon TV. So thank you all so much for all of your support. And along with the general public, that's been sharing, posting, spreading the word. We appreciate each and every one of you. For not just supporting us, but supporting, the Bearded Brothers and supporting, Bill and, Broadhead Manor and all of these other haunted locations. So they don't go to waste.
I never thought I would be getting this much love from this event. Just want to thank everybody. Yep, it's been overwhelming. I want to thank you guys for the support. Thank both you, Louie and Darren, for having us on here today.
Absolutely.
Truly honored to call you guys friends now and family, and looking forward to having this event with you guys.
We are just a hair under a month away now.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's coming up so fast. It was like 9 months from now, we've got time. But everything is going as planned. We're excited, and we're excited to meet everybody.
And Jamie, you're doing an amazing job. Chris, you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
With everything I've been going through this spring and not being always present, I've tried, but it's just been rough.
You're wonderful.
We'll get it. We'll have it perfect for the Rockdown.
It's going to be wonderful. I've got no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I guess without further ado, let's draw a winner, huh?
Now let's draw a winner.
We got 8 entries.
Ba-dum-bum.
And we are drawing.
And the winner is David.
David Harbin. Congratulations, David.
Woohoo. So how are we doing this?
David, are you going to get tickets or are you going to get nuts in your mouth?
Yeah, David, you still in the chat, David?
Well, and if he's not, or if he is, just reach out to Chris Hartle on the Paranormal Rockdown page through Messenger, and he will make sure that he gets the information from you that he needs. And I will make sure that you get those tickets or those tasty nuts in your mouth.
They're great nuts.
Yeah, if you're getting the nuts, you'll obviously have to wait till after the event, so I can get them, and then we'll ship them out to you.
Well, yeah, and we're gonna have to take a look at weather too, because how well do those nuts, chocolatey nuts, ship in summer?
They ship just fine.
Do they?
It's
good.
It's a hard coated candy shell, so they go pretty well.
That's not a problem then. Awesome.
Your nuts are just full of surprises, Bill.
Hard coated crispy nuts. Sorry.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Those are the ones that explode.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that puts us on the tail end of the show. So once again, thank you very much, all three of you, for coming on. Thank you for letting us be a part of this event, period. It's been a blast helping you guys along the way. I can't wait.
Thank you.
We cannot wait for next month. We've got, what do we got, Louis? 7 or 8 of us coming down there to help out. I know, including a handful of spouses and stuff like that that'll be attending the event as well, and everybody is equally as excited to be a part of this and see what this is all about. So
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having us on and allowing us to promote through your platform, and for everything that you're, going to be doing for us, because it means the world to us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
let everybody know we're more willing to help support your guys', even Ashmore, if they're doing events, everybody. Just let them know we'd be more than willing to help out and promote it. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
we're kind of in your
Awesome.
guys' little we're in your guys' little circle now, so we'll do anything to help you guys out. So
Take best friends. Just kidding.
one of us.
And if any of you guys want to come down and help with the cleanup or anything that I'm doing that week, give me a holler and buzz on down.
yeah, I'll try to.
The week leading up to it? The week leading up to it?
Leading up to it, that
Well, let's talk about that, behind the scenes.
yeah. I don't want 30 people to show up and then all of a sudden I'm like, shit. Now what do I
Yeah,
do?
this is an open invitation, people.
There's a lot of free labor, Bill. You can't turn down the free labor. A lot of free labor.
I can't turn down the free labor, but I run out of things that I want to. When I do something at the building, I want to physically watch people do it, because people can do things the wrong way.
Particular.
And I've had things thrown away that was not supposed to be thrown away. So it's a controlled chaos.
It is. But all right then.
All right. Well, that sounds good.
But then again, congratulations, David Harbin, for winning tonight. Thank you guys again for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night.
Take care, everybody.
Yep. And that wraps us up, everybody. Fun show. It's literally a family of these guys. Nothing but love for all of them.
Really is. Really is. So I guess that'll wrap it up, Louis. I think that covers it. Yeah. I thought I had something else to add. I thought I had something else to add, but I guess I don't. So
yeah, our next episode is kind of a question mark right now, but we will figure that out on the fly here. I have a bunch of feelers out for guests in the future here, but
we might do a free for all episode. Maybe we'll do a free for all episode next.
I mean, we got guys in the club that can come on too. So
yep, maybe we'll do something like that. So we'll club guys, if you're sitting there, we might have a couple of surprises coming up in a couple of weeks. So we'll put our heads together and come up with something fun. So
yeah, I have a couple fun feelers out there. So hopefully we get a bite or two. But yeah. Other than that, thank you guys very much for tuning in. And
thank you.
I didn't see Ken, but you know what? I'm going to play the song anyways. Chat, if you're there, you want to hear the song, chat, throw some flames up, and we will play the song, and we will let you guys go out with a rocking experience. So,
all right. Take care, everybody.